Many of our brush cutters are able to run both line heads and metal cutting attachments or blades. Check in the user manual or speak to your nearest STIHL approved dealer to find out whether your machine can run with a cutting blade, and if so, which ones can be used. Once you know which cutting attachment you can run, you will need the attachment itself plus a fitting kit. The fitting kit consists of a thrust washer, a nut and a cup, and are specific to the machine and to the cutting attachment. Again, if you aren't sure what you need, speak to your local STIHL approved dealer to find out. Don't forget to wear gloves when you're handling the metal blade too. Once you're happy you've got all the right parts, this is how to change it over. First, you need to remove the line head. On machines with a gearbox that are able to run metal cutting attachments, we need to lock the line head in place so it can be unscrewed. You should do this with the locking pin that is usually supplied with the machine. Just slot it in here and you'll feel it click into place. This locks the gearbox so you can undo the head. It's a left-hand thread, so you'll need to unscrew it to the right. If you turn the machine over, it's easier to keep the locking pin in place and then remove the head completely. Next, take the blade and check for any directional or rotational markings to make sure it's fitted the right way around. Then place it over the circular shoulder. It's really important that it is correctly seated on the shoulder. Even if it's slightly off-center, it can lead to excessive vibration when the machine is being used. Once you're happy that it's correctly seated, you now need to put the thrust washer on, then the cup, and then the nut to secure everything in place. Remember, it's a left-hand thread, so you need to screw it to the left to tighten the nut. Make sure that the blade stays on the shoulder. If it jumps off, you'll need to reseat it before the nut is tightened completely. Keep the locking pin in place and hold the machine level, then tighten the nut using a combination wrench like this. Once it's tight, remove the wrench and the locking pin and check that the blade is moving freely and is still completely centered. The final thing you need to do is check that you're using the right guard for the cutting attachment. If you have the wrong guard, it can lift the cutting attachment too high off the floor and cause debris to fly around and increase the risk of injury or damage to nearby objects. If your machine uses this type of universal guard that has this black strip, you can use the same locking pin to push the lug in there and remove the black strip. Removing the black strip drops the attachment down to the correct level for safe use of the blade. You can also find more how-to videos on the STIHL GB YouTube channel.